Hey everybody, welcome to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and here on my YouTube channel, and this is part 4 of Does Pro Tools Still Suck 10 Years Later? If you have not seen parts 1, 2, and 3, the playlist will be linked in the description box below. I highly recommend that you check it out. So for people who are just joining who have not seen parts 1, 2, and 3 yet, this is my 10-year anniversary, quote unquote, of being away from Pro Tools, and I wanted to do a fun little experiment to see, is Pro Tools still unstable and have all the same issues that I used to have before when I finally decided to bag it and to leave it for good? Hence, does it still suck? This is not a video series about the workflow between Pro Tools and other DAWs and which one has more rich features and which one is easier to use and all of that. That's for another video series if you guys want it, and I want you guys to comment below to let me know if you'd like something like that. This is purely a stability issue. Can we import some tracks into Pro Tools? Can we do a basic mix with some stock plugins and third-party plugins? And can we get through it without all kinds of computer-related instability issues? That's what this series is. So last week in part 3, we had a couple of different crashes. When we first booted up Pro Tools, it crashed on us. And also we had some buffer and CPU errors inside of Pro Tools. So we've had a couple of different glitches. Again, you can watch the playlist below and go check out part 3. This is part 4. So we're going to start right here from the empty desktop, and I'm going to launch Pro Tools because the last time we had a problem where Pro Tools crashed upon boot up. So I haven't opened up Pro Tools since that last video. I want to do everything here in real time. So here we go. So we're going to launch Pro Tools. This is the standard version. We're on the 30-day trial to see if we can mix a song. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to boot it up and we'll see what happens. Now the first 2 videos, it booted up just fine. Part 3, it did not. We will see. Okay, this is Pro Tools Ultimate. This is the 30-day trial. They give you the Ultimate version. Again, last time after we booted it a second time, it booted up pretty quickly, pretty standard to what any other DAW would do. So from that point of view, it worked really well. Here we go. So it's initiating the engine. Okay, great. So it didn't crash this time. So the song that we've been working on is a song by the band Nerve 9, Living a Lie, kind of a ballad rock tune. So we're going to try to open it and see what happens. Okay. Here we go. Okay, great. Booted up pretty quickly. Okay, so in the last video, we worked on drums. We did things with, let me just get my mixer up here. We did things with auto align. Okay, we did that last week, no problem. During the processing of last week's video, let me just turn down the screen brightness a little bit. It was fine. We used also the Virtual Console Collection by Slate Digital on the drums. And then we use just a standard old Pro Tools compressor. Now this is where in part 3, after I got about 3 or 4 tracks in, we were getting some CPU errors. And again, go watch part 3. I don't want to bore you with that here, but we got that to resolve itself. So we think we're okay. This week, we're going to work on the bass. Okay. So we'll work on bass and maybe a couple of guitars, and let's see how far we can go. Now, just to show you where we are as far as the playback engine and the buffer size. So we're at 256 samples. When we left off last week's video, I had to increase it to 512 because we were having issues. Again, go watch part 3. At the end of part 3, we had some, when I hit playback, we had a whole bunch of crackling and whatnot. I switched it back to 256 from 512 and all the crackling and stuff went away. So who knows? Again, I don't know. So that's what we're going to work on. But let's play back a little bit of this just so you can kind of hear what we're dealing with. Here, and then we'll move forward. Let's see if it plays back without crackling and give me all the nightmares. Here we go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so just the drums. Here's our bass we're going to work on. Okay, we'll start working on bass. We have bass, we have electric guitars, we have some lead vocals and stuff, and we have a bunch of background vocals. I also have a busing system with some aux tracks down here in purple on the far right, drum, bass, guitar, lead vocal, background vocal, and a master fader. Now also on the drum bus, we added the Virtual Tape Machine by Slate Digital. Again, it worked no problem. We actually used a FabFilter Pro Q last week as well, and then I also put on the FG Gray by Slate Digital, the SSL bus compressor on the drums. We also, on the master fader, have the Slate Digital Virtual Console collection. We have the FG Mu, which is their bus compressor. And then we also have the virtual tape machines as well, just so you know what we got going on here. If you didn't see last week, you know, we're not really pushing this one at all yet. Let's see what's going on with this tape machine. Here we go. Okay, so that's where we are. So now, because we used bus compressors, our regular standard Pro Tools compressors last week, we're going to use a couple of third-party plugins. But first, we're going to put on the virtual mix rack here by Slate Digital on the bass. We'll just, whoops, should have done that. That's not what I wanted to do. I need to use Option. Okay, so we have the virtual channel here. Should probably get to where we have some. There we go. Here's our bass. And we can turn it down a little bit with the trimmer. There we go. Okay, so let's get a compressor on here again. We'll use some third-party compressors this time. Let's start with Universal Audio. Or maybe even just Waves might be easier. Let's see, Waves. Let's see, let's get something like the CLA 2A. That would be fun. Let's try that and let's see where we are. A little bit of gain, makeup gain here. Go bypass it. Thickens it up kind of nicely. Okay. Looking pretty good. So used to just working from the mixer view, although I know we can work from the other screen as well. Now maybe what I'll do here, just for fun, again, just trying to add some more plugins. Let's add a little bit of distortion, maybe something like the Sound Toys Devil Lock Deluxe, just a little bit of grit. Now we could always copy and paste another track, but just to keep things simple, this is a great little utility plugin, adds a little bit of grit. I think they even have some cool presets in here too, if I remember right. We don't even need it. We can just do what we're doing here. Bass edgy mix. That might be a little much. Turn down the mix a little. I don't want it to be too dark here. Okay, just for fun. Okay, so now let's take a look at some guitars. Let's see what we have going on here. Okay, so we got a bunch of guitar tracks playing different parts here. We can start with we have like 7 guitar tracks. Let's see if we can go ahead and we mixed in the toms. Yeah, we did all that stuff. Oh, and last week also too, I cleaned up all the hits between the toms, all the bleed. I took all that out. And I think I said in the last video, I do that off camera, so you guys didn't have to sit through that. Went well, editing, no problem, didn't have any issues, worked pretty well. Okay, let's take a listen to what we have here for this guitar track here. Okay, nice clean guitars. Okay, so first thing, let's get the VMR on here. Let's get the virtual mix rack on here. Again, I'm going to use my Option key to drag it over. Just going to drag them on all the guitars. I want to see, again, adding all these plugins, are we going to get CPU errors like we did in the last video? Let's hope not. Let me save this. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here on this guitar. It's clean, kind of clean guitar. Cool. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll use something inside of the VMR here again. Try like maybe the 1176. Down some of the output. %% mix. Cool. Then maybe we'll try like the API EQ. I know I should be adding more instances of the plugin, but again, just to mix it up a little bit and just kind of try to typically do what maybe I would normally do here. So let's see what we have here, maybe on some top end here, maybe around 12K. There we go. 12K, about 4 dB. Before. Nice. Cool. Cool. All right, so that's that guitar. Okay, we have another guitar here. Let's solo that up. Let's see what we kind of have going on here. Okay, really cool. Okay, so it's kind of the same kind of vibe. I'm going to kind of, again, maybe even use the same kind of EQ on that. And we use the same kind of compressor on that clean guitar. Let's see. Get down the trim a little bit. Couple of dB at 7K. Again, just working quickly. You know, again, the object of this series is not this just, you know, oh, can we get... I'm not really focused as much on the mixing as what the whole mix is going to turn out like, as just working quickly, trying to work quickly, adding plugins, twisting some knobs, getting things to sound halfway decent, just to see how Pro Tools responds, okay? So just keep that in mind. Oops. Okay, oop, keep hitting the wrong bars here. Sorry, shortcuts, it's been a long time. Okay, guitar 3. Let's see what we got for guitar 3 going on here. Just gonna work my way through some of these, just getting from refamiliarizing myself with the way Pro Tools kind of works. Okay, so here's guitar 3. Let's see what we have going on here. So we have guitar 3 and guitar 4. Let's see what's kind of happening there. Solo that up here. Almost sounds like a DI track. What's this thing here? It's got a little bit of distortion on it. Okay. very interesting. So these three guitars are obviously playing the same thing. One's affected, a couple are not. We have some, so let's take a look at, let's take a look at maybe this guitar 3, and let's, you know, it's kind of a, almost like a DI, it sounds like. Okay, we could probably maybe put like a guitar amp sim on that. Let's see how Pro Tools reacts to that. So let's move this down. We'll do that before. Let's see, who do I have here? I get Universal Audio, maybe something like a Marshall or something. Let me see, I gotta get so many. Oh, this is Waves, hold on here. Where's UA? Where is UA? Here it is, okay. So we gotta come all the way down here. Maybe some, or even something like a Friedman. Might be kind of cool. Something like a Dirty Shirley. Where is it? Friedman DS40 mono. Can we do it? Will it run? Hey, there we go. Okay. Oh, I kid Pro Tools. All right, here we go. So let's take a listen to this. Do we have any presets in here that might be kind of cool? I haven't used this in a long time. There we go. So we want something with a little bit of rock edge maybe. Let's just see what we got. Using like a crunch dry with a 112. 412 is a little too bass heavy, I think. We like that? I don't know. Let's see. Uh-oh, here we go. Pro Tools ran out of CPU. Try deactivating. We had this last time. Okay, so once again, let's take a look at the CPU. Let's just take a look. Again, this is one of those famous things that always happens in Pro Tools. At least it did, and it doesn't seem like it's gotten any different. So let's go. First, let's go to the, where is it? Where the hell is it? I always forget in these damn things. We got the Playback Engine. Let's check the Playback Engine again. We're at 256 samples. Where the hell's the performance meter? I forget. I was just looking at it the other day. Preferences, click MIDI, session, video, IO, peripherals. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Jeez. Sorry, guys. It just, disk usage. Oh, we want system usage. Sorry. Okay, 12% CPU. So how is it running out of CPU? It's not. We talked about the specs of the computer. The last two videos. Got a 8-core, 64 gig of RAM, iMac Pro. A year old, right? Famous. This happens, it used to happen all the time. You start getting in the middle, you start getting creative, you start thinking about music, and all of a sudden you got to deal with these Pro Tools errors. I just don't get it. Now again, you've seen, we got some plugins on this mix, but we're not even halfway through the mix yet. I'll count the plugin count, but we probably don't have any more than 15 plugins on this whole mix. Yeah, 15%. Not loving that guitar sound, but again, I don't want to spend too much time really worried about that. Let me just get something that just sounds passable, because that's really what I'm looking for here. I don't want anything with delay on it. I just want something dry for now. Let's try this crunch. I think we tried this one, right? Let me turn down the... Okay, good enough for now. We'll go to the... Yeah, I'll use a little bit of that, EQ again. That was guitar 3. Let's just take a look at guitar 4 again. Let me just see what's going on with this thing. Light crunch. Taking a little out of 400. And we can pan these. Okay, so we'll leave that guitar 5, which is pretty much playing the same part right up the center. Again, not looking to, you know, the greatest guitar tones in the world. That's not what we're looking to do here. So we'll let guitar 5 kind of sit up front a little bit more. Guitar 3 and 4 with the 2 amp sims on there, we'll just kind of, you know, just kind of leave it a little tucked in. Pan that over a little. Okay, let's see what we got going on in guitar 6 here. Again, so Pro Tools right now is behaving. Let's see what's going on with guitar 6. Let's just mute these other guitars so I can hear what's going on. Guitar solo, okay. We'll use the SSL. You know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to use this. We're going to use the Pro Tools. We're going to add another plugin. Okay. Because I want to try to add some plugins here, just again to see if we keep getting these crazy CPU errors. So let's go to an EQ. We can just use something like, I mean, we could use an Avid EQ if we wanted to. I guess we could do this. What the hell's the difference, right? We could do this. Okay, close enough for now. Let's see what we got. Let's bring all our guitars back in. Let's just see what's kind of doing here. Okay, let's see what's going on with guitar 7. Sorry. It's kind of some special effect thing. Not even confident that's a guitar, but that's okay. For what we're doing, it's fine. Turn that down, turn it up. Okay, let's compress that and let's use something like, oh, I don't know. Let's see, we can go back to waves. Let's just see, let's do a CLA 3A just because. No reason other than, what the hell, right? Let's try that. Okay, let's let's check our buses here. Let's check our tape machines on our bass and all these other areas just to make sure. See how things are looking, and we'll do a plug-in count. want to do on the guitar bus, just all these guitars are going through a bus. I might put something like, I may want to put a little bit of like some Slate Digital, what am I looking at? Something like maybe some saturation, or not saturation. The Custom Series Lift is a nice plugin, or Revival or something. Let's see, Virtual Mix Rack. Let's just see what we have here. So we'll take off this part of it, and let's just put something like, really kind of like this. In the present setting, we're not going to add any lows. Let it kick in here. Try that again. So we can bring up some resistance. This a little harder. Brings a nice top end sheen to everything. Let's go to the tape machine. This is all the master bus. Okay, so there's our guitars, for better or worse. Okay, so we had one CPU error this time around, and no crashing on boot up. So far, it's behaving okay. Again, I don't understand why we get these CPU errors, but it seems like this happens all the time. If we take a look at our plugin count here, just before we finish up this video, what do we have here? We have, you know, what do we have? How many tracks do we have here? We have 35 tracks in total, so we haven't done anything down here. So we have what, let me just count these quickly. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 tracks so far. Each one of those has probably three plugins on 25. So 75 plugins, I guess you can look at it that way. And then we have our buses. 75, 80, we got about 80 something plugins on here. Okay. So we're running, we're running pretty good. Don't understand the CPUs, spikes, but that is, again, that's something that's been in Pro Tools from day one, and I don't understand why it is. But, if you just have to kind of click OK and just keep moving on, it's not that big of a deal. We haven't had the whole thing crash and burn and shut down, which was another huge issue for me in the past. So that is good. So that's it for guitars and for this week's video. So we'll add one Pro Tools error to the count sheet that we have. Again, I want to hear from you guys and let me know what you think of this series. Comment below. Let me know your experience with Pro Tools. I know a lot of people in the last few videos have been very vocal, both positive and negative, but as long as everybody's respectful and we're not leaving nasty, vulgar comments, those comments will be deleted. Like I said in the last video, don't do that. But if you want to have some back and forth and we want to discuss this whole series, I want to do that with you. It's really, really cool. So I want to hear from you. Let me know below what you think and if you're using Pro Tools, if you're not using Pro Tools, what do you think of this series so far? And do you want to see another series where once we get through this mix, hopefully, that we may compare, or do you want me to compare the workflow stuff from Pro Tools to other DAWs? I can do that as well, but that's not what this series is about, but I'd love to hear from you below. Okay, so until next week, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. All the links will be in the description box below, so you can check out the playlist, check out HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. There is a 25% discount coupon code in the description box below. Go check that out as well. And until next week, I will see you guys really soon. Thanks for joining me, and take care.